G'day viewers, Aussie. How you doing? I was trying to think of what I can do tonight for anything that might be of interest. And I thought, okay, let's look at Aussie animals. Um, you guys have a lot of questions which I've been asked in the past. People have a lot of misconceptions about Australian animals. Um, let's be honest, most of our shit is going to try and kill you. Actually, nearly all of it's going to try and kill you. Even the shit that can't kill you fucking wants to. You know it. I know it. You can't look at something and go, man, that's cute, and wonder, fuck, is it poisonous? Is it going to try and fucking eat me? Is it going to give me some fucking disease? Doesn't matter. Um, everything we've got is going to try and fucking kill you. From jellyfish, saltwater crocs, freshwater crocs, great whites, which will now swim up a fucking river. The irukandji jellyfish, which is smaller than your fucking pinky fingernail, and they travel in swarms of millions, wipe you out in minutes. 100 times deadlier than the man o' war jellyfish or the Portuguese jellyfish. And their tentacles are less than a centimetre long. You fuckers can figure out the metric. Yeah, everything. But let's start off with the basics. You guys would have seen it. Anywhere where there's sports, anywhere where the Aussies are, you will see a boxing kangaroo. I think it was in 1891. His name is Jack. He was first used in a story. I can't remember the bloke's name. You can look it up. But that was where he first originated. About 50 years later, number 21 Squadron, the Royal Australian Air Force, or the RAAF, working out of Singapore, if I remember rightly, were the ones that basically took up that logo, started painting it on their fucking planes. And it sort of grew from that point. All our sportsmen use it now. We fly flags all over the world. In fact, at the last Olympics, we were asked to take them down, which sort of pissed a lot of Aussies off. That's our insignia. But his name is Jack. I use it a lot because it shows the Australian fighting spirit, which is what we're famous for. Well, other than drinking, fighting, cursing, fighting, more drinking. But that's the shit we're famous for. Kangaroo Jack. So, anyway, I just wanted to give you an introduction to him. I'll try and incorporate him somewhere into the video. What else have we got that you guys aren't too sure about? Let's look at drop bears. Now, everyone knows the koalas. Koalas are just a cool, cuddly little creature. With koalas, you'll see them all over the place, especially through Victoria, through the outback. There's a lot of places now which are national parks. They're just cool little animals. You'll have them at most of your fucking zoos. Well, a drop bear looks exactly like a fucking koala, but they are carnivorous. You can't tell the difference until they open their mouth and you can see the fangs. The claws are extremely fucking long. But they will sit around a campfire, or they will follow jackaroos. Okay, getting ahead of myself. Jackaroo. In Australia, a station, or a farm, as you want to call it, whatever the fuck you want to call it, a station is about 100 to 200,000 acres. And the guy that owns it is called a cocky, station owner. Now, he will send out what's called jackaroos. Jackaroos are guys that will ride the fence line on horseback. These days, some guys use helicopters and they'll traverse the area and have a look what's going on, but a lot of the boys still use horseback. And they will follow the fence lines for weeks. They'll get food drops and make camp, all that sort of stuff. I met a few of them when I was out on walkabout when I was 17 years old. It's a whole nother fucking story. If you're interested in hearing that, I'll fill you in on that one. The female version of a jackaroo is called a jillaroo. They do the same thing, horseback. You got to love the country. You got to love being out. You got to love being nomadic, and that's what you'll do. That's your livelihood. You'll go back to the station, catch up with the cocky. He'll give you your new orders after whatever you filled him in on, and you'll go out looking for rustlers, check fence lines, check cattle, sheep, whatever you're fucking running. But anyway, drop bears, they can't follow them. They're too slow. But if they see a campfire And if a jackaroo or jillaroo is sitting around that campfire for 1 or 2 days, checking stock, checking fence line, any of that sort of stuff, these drop bears will come into sight when this person least expects it, because they're thinking it's a koala, or they haven't noticed them at all. These drop bears will fucking drop straight onto your shoulder, or as close as they can get, an arm. Even if they hit the ground, they will attack a fucking leg, and they will maul the fuck out of you in seconds. I will post a couple of photos. These things are lethal. So anybody that's out in the country, any of you fucking Yanks, Yanks, let me give you a quick derivation of that term. In Australia, you're all Yanks. It's actually, that whole terminology is transformed. You're now called seppos, because a lot of the Americans that travel overseas are full of shit. America's where you meet Americans. The ones that are usually traveling are wannabes. There's only about 10% of Americans with passports. Excuse me. And most of them are mouthy pricks. So when we see them over in Australia, because they're full of shit, septic tank rhymes with yank, and then that got shortened to seppos, so seppos, yanks, whatever. Anyway, quick breakdown on that one. So any of you Yanks that are travelling across to Australia, if you're going camping, if you're going out on the tours, make sure you stay next to your fucking tour guide or your tour bus. Do not go off by yourself, because these things will fuck you up. And if you're out, shit, Australia's not like America. You can't just go from one destination to another when you're out bush. You'll be out there for fucking weeks. There's no water. You got to know what you're doing. Shit, I went out for 14 months by myself, and if I didn't get some help, I wouldn't be here today. So you got to know what you're doing. Anyway, that's one animal to keep an eye out for. It will fuck you up big time. Second one, hoop snakes. Another cool fucking animal. Now these snakes, believe it or not, they're not big snakes. They're actually quite small. They're maybe 3. I think the longest one anyone's seen was about 3.5, 4 foot. So not a big fucking animal. But what they can do is, the way their spine is set up, they can actually go through and bite their tail, believe it or not, because snakes cannot harm themselves apparently. Fuck knows. But they can bite their tail, they can form a small sphere or ring, and they can roll down hills and embankments. That's all they can do. And it's just using gravity. That's all they're using. It's not a special fucking power. They're not super snakes. They can just form a ring and roll down things. But if you piss them off and you're running down a hill, they will literally catch you. And they can roll through, and halfway through that fucking roll, they can let go. And quick as fuck. I think it was 3 or 4 times a second they can strike. But they come in varied colours depending on where they are. So it's not like you can look at one and recognise what it is. But these things, they like damp areas. So you won't find them in the middle of the fucking desert. You're going to find them in areas, forests, parks, national parks, walking trails if there's plenty of foliage around. But beware of the hoop snakes. They would be the two we as Australians see the most lethal fucking animals inland, which where you're not expecting to get attacked, and they'll fuck you up. So remember those two. Go and look that shit up. There's whole web pages on them. But I did want to bring something up. I've got a mate coming up. He'll be here in about 2 weeks. I'm not even going to tell you his fucking name. He's a hunter. And he's hunted in Australia. He's bringing some footage with him. And now he's hunting over here. You guys may have heard of him. You may not. Cool fucking dude. Full of shit. Cool fucking stories. Adventurer. Nomadic. Likes to be on fucking walkabout. But he's definitely a professional hunter. So he's one of those guys you're gonna want to watch, whether you're amused by him or curious or you just think he's full of shit. It doesn't fucking matter. It's gonna be a good fucking show. So hopefully in about 2 weeks I'll try and keep you posted. I've got to get some videos set up for him that he's already sent me across, and we'll try and incorporate them. I'm just learning all of this shit, as you mostly have figured out, but I'm learning to edit at the moment, so I can at least make these videos half fucking interesting, because let's face it, this is not a head you want to look at for a long period of fucking time. Anyway, have a good one. I'll catch you after. See you then.